Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into some source material today with a title that, well, it certainly knows how to get your attention.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Over 65. Eat this before you go to sleep, or your muscle mass will keep disappearing.
Wow. That's quite a headline.
It really is. And honestly, reading that, maybe your first thought was, is that even possible? Or perhaps you felt a little jolt of recognition. Maybe you've noticed it yourself, that subtle shift in strength, maybe some morning stiffness.
Right. Or that quiet worry when lifting something feels a little heavier than it used to.
Exactly. Or perhaps moments of feeling less steady on your feet.
That title's designed to grab you, isn't it? But, it taps into something very real.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Age-related changes in muscle mass and strength, they're tangible realities for many people as they get older.
Okay.
And it's a completely valid question to ask if something as simple as what you eat, and specifically when you eat it, could genuinely make a difference.
Exactly. That's precisely our mission in this deep dive. We're going to explore the specific claims made in this source material and see what it tells us.
Okay.
Can targeting certain foods right before you go to sleep significantly affect muscle health, particularly for people over 65?
And the source makes some rather specific, surprising claims about what these foods might be.
Oh, it does. For example, it highlights a specific small, unassuming food you might only think of for decoration, suggesting it could be a key not just to deeper sleep, but potentially to supporting stronger legs.
Intriguing. Sleep and stronger legs from a fruit.
Right. And it goes further. It brings up the idea that something incredibly simple, like perhaps just a spoonful of cheese before bed.
Cheese.
Yeah, isn't just a snack. The source suggests this could actually help stabilize blood sugar overnight and support crucial muscle repair processes while you sleep.
A spoonful of cheese for muscle repair. Okay, that gets my attention.
And what's particularly interesting is another claim it makes involving an often overlooked part of a common plant, the seeds themselves.
Seeds.
The source posits that this specific bit might hold a secret for reducing those frustrating 3 a.m. leg cramps that can interrupt sleep for many older adults.
Wow. Sleep, repair, cramps, all linked to simple, everyday foods at night. It makes you wonder what's really going on in our bodies while we're asleep.
Let's get into that then. To understand the source's claims about nighttime eating, we first need to understand what's happening with our muscles as we age, especially after 60.
Right.
Have you ever woken up in the morning, sat on the edge of your bed, and just waited? Waited for your legs to feel ready?
Or maybe notice lifting your arms feels just a little harder than it used to.
If that resonates, you're touching on a very common experience. It's often related to something called sarcopenia.
Sarcopenia. Okay, tell us about sarcopenia, as the source describes it.
Well, it's the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function, particularly common after age 60.
So, your muscles are still there, but maybe not quite as robust, not firing with the same power.
Exactly. This can impact your balance, your mobility, and even that feeling of confidence in your own body.
Okay.
The source frames it as muscles perhaps not getting the fuel or the dedicated repair time they need.
And a crucial point the source makes here is that while, yes, this is linked to aging, it's not just about the years passing.
It's not.
No, it's also significantly about supporting your body, especially at night.
Why at night? Doesn't most of the repair happen when you're active?
Surprisingly, according to the source, no. Sleep isn't just for resting your brain, it's prime time for physical rebuilding.
Really? Prime time?
Yeah. While you're in deep sleep, your body releases what the source calls its repair crew hormones. Growth hormone, GH, and IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1.
Okay, GH and IGF-1.
These are vital for repairing muscle tissue, restoring strength, and helping you recover.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one highlighted by the source.
Oh.
After age 60, the natural production of these hormones drops dramatically.
Dramatically.
Yeah. It's like the repair crew is still on duty, but they're working with half the tools, as the source puts it.
Half the tools. So your body's natural ability to recover and rebuild overnight is less efficient simply due to age.
Precisely. And this is the core reason the source argues that what you eat before bed becomes more critical than ever for this age group.
Okay, that makes sense.
If your body doesn't have the right raw materials like quality protein, essential minerals, and natural sleep support, it just can't maximize that limited repair window while you're asleep.
The source provides a comparison that really drives this home. Think about a younger adult, say in their 20s or 30s.
Right.
They might get 1.5 to 2 hours of deep sleep. Their growth hormone levels are high, muscle recovery is fast, and their body is very efficient at absorbing protein.
Okay, so
Efficient.
Now compare that to an older adult over 60. They often get less than an hour of deep sleep. GH levels are significantly lower.
Much lower. Muscle recovery takes longer and needs more help, and their protein absorption isn't as efficient either.
Wow, that's a stark difference. So a younger person might recover easily no matter when or what they eat protein-wise.
Pretty much.
But an older body needs more targeted support, particularly when the repair crew is active.
Exactly. And often that means making sure the right nutrients are available during that critical overnight period.
The source shares a relatable personal story about a Dr. Allen who is 70.
Okay.
He talked about how for years he just accepted feeling slower, stiffer, and weaker, blaming it on just getting old. You know the feeling.
Oh, yeah. I think many people can relate to that.
But he started making small, intentional changes based on this research, like adding a soft-boiled egg or a few spoonfuls of cottage cheese before bed.
Not a big meal then.
No, not at all. Just a small, focused snack.
And the result?
The source says after about 2 weeks, Dr. Allen noticed a real difference. Getting out of bed was easier, his balance felt more reliable, his grip was stronger.
Really? That quick?
Yeah. He felt like he had more control over his physical body again.
That story underscores the potential. It suggests that muscle loss isn't just an unavoidable downhill slide,
Right.
but something we can actively influence, especially by supporting the body's natural repair processes when they're meant to happen at night.
Exactly. You might not need a gym overhaul, but you might need a little knowledge about fueling your body specifically for sleep and recovery.
Which brings us to the most anticipated part, exploring those specific foods the source highlights.
All right, let's dive into the first one. You might only see this fruit sliced on a dessert or, in a fancy cocktail. But the source describes kiwi as a surprisingly powerful ally for people over 60 looking to improve sleep and support muscle strength.
Kiwi. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Me neither. The core reason kiwi made this list, according to the source, it's a natural source of melatonin.
Melatonin, the sleep hormone, doesn't your body make that?
It does, but as the source points out, our natural melatonin production tends to decline significantly as we get older.
Ah, okay.
This is a major factor in why many older adults struggle with falling asleep or staying asleep.
And the benefit of getting it from kiwi specifically.
It offers a gentle, food-based dose that works with your body's natural system. Unlike some supplements which, they can sometimes create dependency or disrupt your natural rhythm over time.
Right, a more natural approach. Does the source have evidence?
It backs this up with research, like a study from Taipei Medical University finding that adults who ate 2 kiwis about an hour before bed fell asleep significantly faster by 42%.
42% faster just from kiwi?
Yeah, and slept 13% longer on average. That's just from eating kiwi, not taking medication.
Wow. And improved sleep quality directly fuels muscle repair, right?
Exactly, because that's when growth hormone and IGF-1 are released. Better sleep equals a better opportunity for your body's repair crew to do its job.
Makes sense. What else about kiwi?
The source also highlights kiwi's abundance of antioxidants, particularly vitamin C and E.
Antioxidants.
Yeah.
Why are those important for aging muscles?
Well, as we age, muscles are more susceptible to inflammation and oxidative stress. That damage contributes to morning stiffness and prolonged soreness, even after light activity.
Okay.
Antioxidants help combat this damage, allowing your body to focus its energy on repair and recovery instead of fighting off cellular damage.
So less fighting, more fixing.
Pretty much. There's an anecdote in the source about Susan, age 72, who felt less stiff in the mornings after adding kiwi to her nightly routine. She needed fewer pain relievers.
It's those small, noticeable changes that make a difference, isn't it?
Absolutely. The source also notes kiwi is rich in potassium.
Ah, potassium for cramps.
Exactly. Vital for muscle function, and particularly helpful in preventing those disruptive 3 a.m. leg cramps.
Which can be a real problem for older adults.
Definitely. Potassium is often low in seniors, and low levels are strongly linked to muscle cramps. The source points out that kiwi actually has more potassium per ounce than common fruits like apples or grapes.
More than apples or grapes. Interesting.
So kiwi can be a simple way to help keep cramps at bay, which again supports uninterrupted restorative sleep.
There's another story in the source, right? About George.
Yeah, George, 74. His legs felt like concrete in the morning. After adding 2 kiwis before bed, he reported sleeping deeper and waking up feeling like his legs were his again.
That's quite a testimonial.
Beyond these muscle and sleep benefits, the source mentions kiwi is easy to digest, low in sugar.
Good for blood sugar management.
Right. Low in sodium, high in fiber. It's generally well tolerated.
Okay, so how does the source recommend using it?
Simple advice. Eat 2 ripe kiwis about an hour before sleep. Maybe make it part of a relaxing winding down routine.
2 kiwis. Got it. Any downsides?
Just a quick note on cautions. Be mindful if you have latex or certain fruit allergies. And if you experience acid reflux, the source suggests trying golden kiwis, which are less acidic.
Okay, good tips. So kiwi supports sleep via natural melatonin, fights inflammation with antioxidants, helps prevent cramps with potassium, and is easy on the stomach. A real multitasker.
It certainly seems like it. Moving on to the second food highlighted by the source.
Eggs. Eggs. Okay, the breakfast staple.
Right. While we often think of them for breakfast, the source makes a strong case for eating 1 egg before bed, particularly for older adults focused on maintaining muscle and stability.
Okay, why eggs at night?
The primary reason eggs are singled out by the source for nighttime consumption. They are a complete protein source, specifically rich in leucine.
Ah, leucine. That's a key amino acid for muscle building, isn't it?
Exactly. Leucine is the critical amino acid that acts like an on switch for muscle protein synthesis, the process of building and repairing muscle.
Okay.
And your body is primed to do this while you're sleeping if it has the right fuel.
And the source emphasizes that for older adults, this leucine intake is especially important because of something called anabolic resistance.
Anabolic resistance, what's that?
Yeah, it means that as you age, your muscles become less responsive to protein.
Less responsive.
Right. Eating the same amount of protein you did at 30 won't trigger the same muscle building response at 65 or 70. You need a higher dose of key amino acids, like leucine, to flip that switch effectively.
Ah, okay. So you need more bang for your protein buck, essentially.
Exactly. And an egg provides that targeted dose in an easily digestible format. Each large egg offers about 6 grams of high-quality protein.
Good amount.
Along with choline for brain function and vitamin D.
Vitamin D. The source links that to muscle coordination, balance, and bone strength, right?
It does, and that vitamin D link is significant. The source notes that something like 70–80% of people over 65 are deficient in vitamin D.
Wow, that high.
Yeah, and low levels are associated with poor balance and increased risk of falls.
So an egg before bed isn't just about muscle repair, but also supporting the systems that help you move safely and confidently.
Precisely. The source tells the story of Lean, age 68. She felt her legs were like cooked noodles, unstable and unreliable.
Cooked noodles, I can picture that.
She was hesitant to eat at night, but her doctor suggested 1 soft-boiled egg about 45 minutes before bed.
Just 1 soft-boiled egg.
Yep. And within 2 weeks, Lean felt a noticeable difference. Her legs felt steadier, calmer, more reliable. She felt like she had her body back.
Wow.
The source calls this eating smart, providing targeted fuel when the body can best use it.
It's like giving your body's nighttime repair crew the premium materials they need right before their shift starts.
Exactly. Now, the common concern is always cholesterol, right?
Yeah, definitely. What does the source say?
It addresses this directly. It references recent research, including studies from the American Heart Association.
You okay?
For most healthy older adults, eating an egg a day is considered safe and may even improve cholesterol profiles by increasing the good HDL cholesterol.
Good to know. But always check with your doctor, I assume.
Absolutely. Important caveat. Always follow your personal doctor's advice regarding dietary needs and cholesterol.
Okay. So how should you prepare this bedtime egg? Fried? Scrambled?
The source suggests avoiding heavy fats like frying in butter or oil and skipping excess salt. Those can cause indigestion or affect blood pressure.
Right. Keep it simple.
Exactly. Simple preparations like soft-boiled, poached, or gently scrambled with olive oil are better choices. Steamed custards are also mentioned as being gentle.
And easy to chew, too.
Right, which is important for some seniors.
Oh, okay. So the takeaway for eggs, they deliver complete, high-quality protein with crucial leucine to trigger muscle synthesis overnight.
Helps counteract that age-related anabolic resistance.
Provides vitamin D for balance and strength, and are generally easy to digest when prepared simply.
A simple egg packs a surprising punch when timed right.
Okay, next up, let's talk about pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin seeds, pepitas. I like those.
Me too. The source describes these little green gems as surprisingly powerful for tackling issues like stiff legs, restless sleep, and feeling sluggish in the morning over 60.
Tiny but mighty indeed. What makes pumpkin seeds stand out for nighttime support?
The source points to a couple of key nutrients. First, they offer plant-based protein around 7 grams per ounce.
Okay, good protein source.
Yeah, providing amino acids needed for overnight muscle repair, which, again, many seniors aren't getting enough of in the evening.
Right. And the other key nutrient.
Critically, they are an excellent source of magnesium. The source calls it the relaxation mineral and notes that a large percentage of older adults are deficient.
Magnesium. I've heard that's important for sleep and muscles.
Absolutely. It helps muscles relax after they've been used, reducing stiffness and tension. It also calms the nervous system, promoting deeper, more restful sleep.
And cramps.
And it's crucial for preventing muscle cramps, including those painful ones that hit in the middle of the night.
Got it. So magnesium is key. How much is in pumpkin seeds?
The source highlights that 1 ounce provides about 37% of your daily magnesium needs.
Wow, quite a bit.
And it reminds us that magnesium absorption decreases with age, while needs increase, sometimes compounded by medications. So pumpkin seeds offer a natural way to replenish this vital mineral.
That makes sense. Anything else in them?
They also contain zinc, which the source describes as a quiet assistant.
A quiet assistant.
Yeah, vital for cellular repair, immune function, and hormonal balance, all of which support overall physical function and muscle tone.
Okay. Does the source have a story for pumpkin seeds, too?
It does. Harold, a 72-year-old retired gardener, his legs felt locked up every morning, even though he thought he was sleeping okay.
Not recovering well overnight.
Exactly. His doctor suggested a small handful of unsalted pumpkin seeds before bed.
Unsalted. Important detail.
Very. And Harold found he was sleeping deeper and waking up without that concrete-like stiffness in his legs.
That's great. It underscores the source's point that even small dietary additions can make a big difference when they target specific needs like magnesium deficiency.
Right. The source explains the science here. Magnesium helps with muscle relaxation and nerve function. Plus, pumpkin seeds digest relatively slowly compared to sugary snacks.
Ah, so steady energy.
It's exactly, providing a steady release of amino acids and healthy fats throughout the night. This fuels repair without causing blood sugar spikes or crashes that can disrupt sleep or overnight recovery.
That's a good point about blood sugar.
The doctor in the source also shared his personal experience, adding a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds nightly and noticing fewer nighttime wake-ups and improved flexibility in his legs in the morning.
So how does the source suggest incorporating them at night? A whole handful.
Just 1-2 tablespoons of unsalted, dry-roasted seeds about 30-60 minutes before bed.
Okay, just a tablespoon or two?
Yeah. They can be eaten plain or with a sprinkle of cinnamon or maybe a few almonds. The key is unsalted and avoiding sugary coatings or additions.
Right, keep it natural. So pumpkin seeds offer plant-based protein for repair, crucial magnesium for muscle relaxation and sleep quality, zinc for cellular support, and provide slow-release fuel overnight.
Another small food with big potential.
They really are. Okay, what's the fourth food?
Finally, the fourth bedtime food from the source is cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. Okay, sort of retro, but I hear it's making a comeback.
It is, and the source describes this humble dairy product as a powerful ally for preserving muscle, keeping blood sugar stable, and waking up feeling stronger, especially after 60.
What makes cottage cheese special for nighttime?
Its unique benefit, according to the source, comes down to its primary protein.
Casein.
Casein. I know whey protein, but what's casein?
Casein is a slow-digesting protein. It releases its amino acids gradually over many hours, basically feeding your muscles throughout the entire night.
Oh, interesting. Slow release.
Exactly. This is different from proteins like whey, which you mentioned, or chicken, which are absorbed much faster.
Right.
The source uses the analogy of a marathon protein versus a sprint protein.
Okay, I like that. Whey is a sprint.
For quick post-workout recovery.
And casein is a marathon.
For sustained overnight nourishment. And why is that sustained, slow release so important for older adults at night?
Because, as the source explained earlier, older bodies tend to lose muscle overnight at a higher rate than younger bodies due to slower recovery.
Ah, right. Muscle breakdown overnight.
Yeah. A steady supply of amino acids from casein helps minimize that breakdown and supports continuous repair while you sleep. It helps prevent that feeling of morning weakness or instability.
Okay, so it's protective. Does it have other benefits?
Cottage cheese is also high in leucine, like eggs, further boosting that muscle synthesis trigger.
Good. Leucine again.
And it's low in sugar and carbs. The source notes this is excellent for stabilizing blood sugar levels overnight.
Preventing those crashes that can wake you up or make you feel groggy.
Exactly. No crashes that disrupt sleep or cause fatigue.
Is there a story for cottage cheese?
Yes. Martha, age 76. She felt unsteady and kind of disconnected from her body. She usually just had tea or crackers at night.
Not much fuel there.
Right. The doctor suggested she try just 1 spoonful of low-fat cottage cheese before bed.
Just 1 spoonful.
Yep. And the change for Martha was significant. Within 2 weeks, she told the doctor she felt more solid, her legs felt more reliable, and she didn't feel so fragile in the morning.
Wow.
She felt like she got her body back simply by adding this targeted fuel at the right time.
That's powerful. Targeted fuel at the right time.
The source's deep dive into the science compares whey and casein again, fast digestion, 1-2 hours, post-workout, quick recovery for whey.
Versus slow digestion, 6 to 8 hours before sleep, all-night repair for casein.
Exactly. It really highlights why casein is particularly valuable as an aging body naturally loses more muscle overnight.
And the blood sugar stability is a key benefit too.
Definitely. By providing protein without sugar, it helps maintain steady insulin levels, which is better for both fat metabolism and efficient muscle repair during the night.
The doctor in the source shared his own experience too, didn't he?
He did. Skipping night snacks left him waking up with jelly legs, as he put it.
Jelly legs. Not ideal.
No. But adding just 2-3 spoonfuls of cottage cheese before bed made him feel more alert and physically me in the morning.
So how much does the source recommend? A whole tub?
No, just 2-3 tablespoons or about a quarter cup is usually sufficient.
Okay, quite small.
Yeah. Choose low-fat or 1% versions, low sodium if possible, and stick to plain, unsweetened varieties. Avoid those with fruit on the bottom or added sugar.
Right. Keep it simple. Can you add things?
Optional unsugared add-ons are fine a sprinkle of cinnamon, maybe a few of those pumpkin seeds we just discussed,
Right.
or perhaps a tiny dash of turmeric. But definitely avoid sugary items like granola or jam.
Got it. Any cautions?
Cautions mentioned include dairy sensitivity, lactose-free versions are an option, or consult your doctor. And being on a low-protein diet for kidney issues, again, always consult your doctor.
Makes sense.
But for most healthy older adults, it's described as a gentle, satisfying, and effective option.
Okay, so cottage cheese provides slow digesting casein for sustained overnight muscle repair, contains crucial leucine, helps stabilize blood sugar, and is an easy, affordable, and satisfying way to fuel recovery.
That's the gist of it.
Okay.
All right, we've explored 4 distinct foods the source highlights for bedtime.
Kiwi, eggs, pumpkin seeds, cottage cheese.
Right, but the source stresses that how you eat them is just as important as what they are. For older adults, paying attention to timing, portion size, and digestion is crucial.
Okay, so it's not just what, but how. What are the tips?
The source offers several important nighttime tips. First, regarding amount. Don't eat too little, but crucially, don't eat too much either.
Finding that Goldilocks zone.
Exactly. Eating too little means your body lacks the protein and nutrients needed for that overnight repair. But eating too much, well, that can cause indigestion, discomfort, and disrupt your sleep, counteracting the very goal.
Right, you want to sleep, not wrestle with your stomach.
Precisely. Aim for a light, nutrient-dense snack, especially if your dinner was early or didn't include much protein. The source mentions the doctor's experience where just a few intentional bites made a difference compared to just sipping tea.
It was about providing that targeted fuel.
Yes. Second tip, focus on gentle, easily digestible foods to avoid bloating and discomfort. Many seniors deal with slower digestion, gas, or reflux.
So be kind to your digestive system at night.
Definitely. Evening snacks should ideally be low in fat, not spicy, low acidic, and relatively simple.
Good examples.
The source lists things like a spoonful of cottage cheese, those pumpkin seeds, a soft-boiled egg, maybe a small piece of avocado, half a banana, or the kiwis.
And what to avoid.
Avoid fried foods, heavy or rich meals, excess salt or sugar, and carbonated drinks right before bed. You want to fuel the repair crew without giving your digestive system a major job overnight.
Makes sense. What else?
Third, the source strongly recommends establishing a calm, consistent nighttime routine.
The routine. Always important.
It really is. It suggests a sample flow. Maybe light dinner a few hours before bed, say 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
Perhaps a gentle walk or stretch around 7:30 p.m., relaxing activities at 8:00 p.m.
Reading, quiet music.
Exactly. Then your small bedtime snack around 8:30 p.m., avoiding screens from 9:00 p.m. onwards, and aiming for a consistent bedtime, maybe 9:30, 10:20 p.m.
That consistency helps signal to your body that it's time to wind down, right? Prepare for rest and repair.
Precisely. The doctor in the source mentioned his own routine change, adding stretching, and that protein snack helped stop his leg cramps and improved his sleep depth.
Routine matters. Okay, final tip.
Finally, the source advises being aware of potential signs of low protein intake as needs generally increase with age.
What should people look out for?
Look out for warning signs like noticeable muscle loss or weakness, persistent morning tiredness or unsteadiness, slow wound healing, unexplained swelling, brittle hair or nails, poor appetite, or unintended weight loss.
Okay, those are good things to be aware of.
If you notice 2 or more of these signs, it might indicate you need to increase your protein intake, perhaps with a focus on adding some at night. Or, it's worth discussing with your doctor.
Definitely worth a chat with the doctor.
Yeah. The doctor in the source shared that it wasn't until he struggled lifting grocery bags that he fully realized his own protein intake wasn't sufficient for his needs anymore.
Wow. A real wake-up call.
It was. So the key nighttime tips for success are: eat just the right small amount, choose foods that are easy to digest, establish a consistent wind-down routine, and pay attention to your body's signals regarding protein needs.
Great summary. So after exploring aging muscles, the power of sleep, and how these specific foods might help, what's the overall message the source wants us to walk away with?
The source is very clear and actually quite empowering, I think.
Yeah.
It says losing muscle as you age is not an inevitable fate you just have to accept. It's often a signal that your body needs different support, and that signal can be responded to.
So it's not game over just because you're older?
Not at all. It acknowledges that, yes, things change: hormones, digestion, recovery speed.
Yeah.
But it strongly emphasizes that people can and do build muscle, increase strength, and improve balance well into their 70s, 80s, and even 90s.
That's really hopeful.
It is. It takes the right support: protein-rich nutrition, quality sleep, light activity, and consistent habits.
That doctor's personal story really drives this home, doesn't it? Losing confidence in his own legs.
Right. But finding that small, targeted nutritional changes in the evening made his mornings feel less fragile. His body hadn't given up. It was just waiting for the right kind of fuel at the right time.
Waiting for help.
Exactly. And the source stresses this isn't about radical changes or expensive supplements. Healthy aging and maintaining that physical capability often starts with simple evening habits.
Consistency and awareness are the keys.
That's what it says. Small changes, like swapping a less ideal snack for a kiwi or cottage cheese.
Or choosing a soft-boiled egg instead of just crackers.
Getting to bed a bit earlier, adding a simple evening stretch. Each step is small, manageable.
But the source argues that, done consistently, they add up significantly.
Like countless small drops of water shaping stone over time. Your small, repeated choices reshape your strength, your energy, and your ability to live independently.
The point isn't about perfection, then.
No, it's about repetition. It encourages you to think about what one small thing you can do tonight and most nights.
What one easy food can you prepare?
How can you send your body the simple message: I still care about you, because your body's listening.
It responds when you give it the right tools.
Especially when it's in its prime repair state, like during sleep. For the doctor and the source, that simple routine became 2-3 spoonfuls of cottage cheese, a glass of warm water, and 10 minutes of quiet before bed.
Simple, repeatable, and for him, profoundly effective.
So here is a provocative thought for you, building on everything we've covered from this source.
Okay.
You're still in control. Just because you've accumulated more years doesn't mean your body is done responding, done growing stronger, done rebuilding.
It might work a little differently.
Yeah.
Perhaps a bit slower.
Exactly. But it is still listening. It is still capable of repair. It is still fundamentally yours.
That's a powerful perspective.
Every evening, with every small choice you make to nourish it, to support its rest, you are sending a powerful message. I want to wake up stronger tomorrow.
I believe in your ability to repair.
We are not finished yet. And believe me, the source implies your body hears that message loud and clear.
So to wrap up, we've explored sarcopenia, the vital, often overlooked role of sleep for muscle repair.
And how fueling your body correctly at night with foods like kiwi, eggs, pumpkin seeds, or cottage cheese based on this source could potentially make your mornings stronger, steadier, and more confident.
Strength doesn't require massive effort or expensive fixes.
No. The core message from this source is that it often just takes one small thing, done right consistently, that targeted fuel delivered to your body's repair crew while you sleep.
These tiny choices send a powerful message about what's possible.
From all of us here at The Deep Dive, sleep well.
Stay strong.